All right, so let's get started. How to use PDFPlumber. So I have a PDF file that looks something like this, and it contains some text, and it also contains a table. We're going to do two things. We're going to, one, locate this line and get that value 15. Two ways of doing that. And then we're also going to capture this table here. So let's see how we do that with PDFPlumber. First, I'm going to import the OS. We're going to do something fancy with that, and then import the PDFPlumber. That's going to do all the work. Our path is cpdf, and let's get started with OS. I'm going to scan the directory of our path and call it, we'll just call it for, call this variable entry in it. If the entry name ends with .pdf, that's what we want, and the entry is a file. But in this example, I want to zero in on one specific PDF file because I don't want to scan through all my PDF files for this example. So we're going to go with entry.name that starts with and that file name. Then with PDFPlumber, we're going to open our entry path as PDF. So this entry path exists in here. So this variable entry has a name, it has a path, but we just want the path, yeah. So we're going to create another variable called pages, which is going to store the PDF pages. Then we want the text from the PDF page. Well, what text we want? Well, we want page 0, which is 1, the first page. And we're going to extract the text. So, let me see. We'll call this one, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, so then we move on to text string equals text. Because I want to reuse this one later. So we're just going to have another one called text. And then let's print text. That's how the text looks like. So this is all text from that PDF file. So now we're going to extract the number 15. R15, R, between R and bands. So to do that, we're going to print the, actually before we do that, we're going to create, there's two methods. Method number one is text, we're going to use index. So text index, we'll call it text index, is equal to text dot split. So now this is going to find every new line and it's going to turn it into an index. Okay. And I'm going to print text index 5, row 5. I know it's row 5 because this is row 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there it is. Start in row 5. I'm going to do a substring. So a substring is, again, start in row 5, So row 5, and then find that value R with the space. I'm going to add 4 to it because here's 3, and then the space, that's 4. So we want to start at the number 1 position. Colon, and then the same thing. So I'm just going to copy this guy here, but I'm going to add two more to it because I always know it's a 2-digit net value, so I always know it's going to be 7. And then I'm going to close a bracket, close this thing, and then let's see if this thing works. So there's 15. Print text index 5. So line 5 is this, and then the value that we just took a look at is 15. So when would you use this piece here? You would use this piece when you know that that value is always on line 5. Okay? Sometimes you don't know that it's going to be line 5. Sometimes inconsistent because it depends on the PDF, who created the PDF. So in this case, what we would do is we would, instead of using the text index, remember this one here up here, which is just another copy of this right here. We're just going to do text string, right? And then same thing, text string dot find R plus 4, and then we need to copy this guy here again. So it starts here and it ends here with you can do 7, which means, you know, it always ends at plus 2, right? So there's your 15, 15 again. Let me hide. Let me not show this one. There's 15 from this line, if you know the index, and here's 15 from this line, if you know the well, from the search. Well, what if you say, well, you know what if it's 3 numbers, 4 numbers, 5 numbers? I don't know what it is. Okay, that's great. You don't know what it is. So you do know that it always, you do know that there's a word bands right after it. So what you can do is you can do this, bands, right? So bands have 5, 6. So we go 6, and then let's see what happens. What's actually going to happen is it's going to start from here and it's going to end from where the band is. So see how there's bands, right? So we don't want that word bands there. So you do -6. You have 15. Sorry, not -6. You put, okay, so I'm going to do 7. Start over again. Oops. Plus 7. Five, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry. 6. 6. So now you have 15 bands. We don't want bands. Okay, so I'm going to turn this into, let's just say, a temp text, okay? And then if I print that same temp, we should still get the same thing, 15 bands. So how you resolve that is this. You temp is equal to temp. You're going to substring. You want the beginning of temp. And then you want to end with temp dot find bands and then you're going to subtract 4, 5. All right, so we start from the beginning, find the word bands. Bands have 5 letters, subtract the 5. We should get here. If you don't want the space, then subtract 6. Oops. Close that bracket. Unmatch. Oh, here you go. Close the bracket. Okay, so what you do is you do temp equal temp, and then substring, start with the beginning, and then you're going to end with temp dot find bands, and then close this, and let's see what we get. 15. So here's one method, right, where you find by index. And the second method is you find by whatever that word is between R and bands. So here it is, line index 5. We're searching between R and bands. And that's how you get, that's how you search. 2 types of searches. Cool. All right, so let's do something else. Let us get rid of all this jazz. Okay. And then now we're going to do the table. This part is very easy or quick, as long as the PDF or grid is nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to reuse the text part here. Actually, we're not going to reuse the text part. Okay, we're going to create a table. We'll just call it a table. Equals to pages, and that's going to be the first page. But this time we don't want extract text. We actually want extract table. Okay. Then my data frame. So I need to bring in pandas. Import pandas as PD. So my data frame is equal to pandas.dataFrame, and then the table row 1 to wherever, infinity, and then column, same thing, columns equals to table. Let's see it. And then we print the data frame, and let's see what happens. So we're just going to extract the table this time, put in a data table. And there it is. Pretty fast, huh? Pretty sweet. So one last thing before I close this up here. This table is great, I guess, but I want to know where it came from. So I'm just going to add a data frame column, new column, and we'll call it file name. And the file name is going to be the entry dot name. So remember, here's my entry path. Now I have an entry name. So now when I run it, there's my file name. I hope this was helpful. PDFPlumber is very useful, very helpful. The documentation is kind of confusing in my opinion. But this is how you use it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.